on River Region Evening Edition. A Saluki tennis player surpasses an all-time school record. Governor Bruce Rauner spoke to Marion business leaders today. And Vice President Joe Biden has made an announcement regarding his future plans.
News from around the world, across the nation, and here in the River Region. This is the award-winning Student Newscast, coming to you live from Southern Illinois University. River Region Evening Edition begins now.
After months of speculation, Vice President Joe Biden is passing on a third run for the Democratic presidential nomination. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joe Rree.
And I'm Joey Dalo. With President Obama at his side, Biden announced his decision today in the White House Rose Garden.
I believe we have to end the divisive partisan politics that is ripping this country apart, and I think we can. It's mean-spirited, it's petty, and it's gone on for much too long. I don't believe, like some do, that it's naive to talk to Republicans. I don't think we should look at Republicans as our enemies. They are our opposition. They're not our enemies. And for the sake of the country, we have to work together. As the president said many times, compromise is not a dirty word. But look at it this way, folks. How does this country function without consensus? How can we move forward without being able to arrive at consensus? 4 more years of this kind of pitched battle may be more than this country can take. We have to change it. We have to change it.
Despite the decision, Biden says he would not remain silent and keep talking about the issues. Biden sought the Democratic nomination in both 1988 and 2008, but exited both races early. Recent national polls showed Biden, if he ran, a distant third behind both Hillary Clinton and Senator Bernie Sanders for a Democratic nod.
Governor Bruce Rauner made a brief appearance in Marion today to pitch his turnaround agenda to area business leaders. River Region's Anthony Wilder has the story.
Governor Rauner continued pressing for his business-friendly Illinois Path Forward agenda to members of the Marion Chamber of Commerce over the noon hour. Rauner called for changes in collective bargaining laws and workmen's compensation reform to spur job growth in the state. The governor assured the crowd that there is a light at the end of the tunnel in solving the current budget impasse, and all parts of the state are being treated equally.
The people of Marion are just as important as the people of Chicago. We're not the state of Chicago, we're the state of Illinois, and everybody should be treated fairly and equally. This is a big deal. And this is what I'm asking. Just empower the people of Illinois to decide how these costs in government are run.
The governor says he doesn't expect any vote on a new state budget until January, which is a major concern for SIU and other universities. The governor says reforms have to come first.
We need the money in the classroom with the teachers and the students, not into layers and layers of administration, bureaucracy, overtime, work rules, pensions, layers of paper shuffling and bureaucracy, regulatory oversight. We need the teachers supported and the students supported.
Union protesters outside the Marion Civic and Cultural Center question the governor's commitment to education.
Rauner does not care about public education in the state of Illinois. I can say that flatly. If you look at his actions, he doesn't.
Rauner then toured Marion Junior High School after earlier stops in Ina and Mount Vernon. For River Region Evening Edition, I'm Anthony Wilder.
Crystal clear. I'm a big advocate.
The governor is wrapping up his day in Southern Illinois at this hour by having dinner at Murfreesboro's 17th Street Barbecue.
Well, Joe, we had another beautiful day outside in the Carbondale community.
But will this nice weather last? Weathercaster Colin Dorsey will tell us what tonight will look like. Colin?
Yes, it was an absolutely gorgeous day outside today, but looking into tonight, overnight low of 55 degrees with pretty clear skies. Then by morning tomorrow around 6 a.m., 63 is the temperature by that point, and partly cloudy skies. But by midday, those clouds move out of the area, bringing temperatures up to around 75 degrees. I'll have a further look of weather coming up in just a few minutes, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Colin. Illinois' Department of Children and Family Services has to have a plan to improve residential treatment in other areas by February of 2016. Earlier this year, the American Civil Liberties Union of Illinois sued over dangerously inadequate care. Court-appointed experts detailed problems in a scathing report, including over-bureaucratization. Illinois DCFS accepted the report and agreed to the charges. The final overhaul plan is due in court by February 23rd.
A Carbondale man is being charged after threatening a group of individuals with a firearm last night. Officers responded to a report on Poplar Street of a man with a gun around 8 p.m. Anton Rayford was later charged with unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, aggravated assault, and disorderly conduct. He is currently being held in the Jackson County Jail. The investigation is still ongoing.
Netflix lovers now can enjoy a faster performance if they are a Mediacom broadband customer. The company has built new fibers to directly connect Netflix and Mediacom. Mediacom Vice President John Pasquarelli says Netflix is the most popular online television provider, leaving the company no choice but to up the Netflix experience for their customers. Pasquarelli says the transition was completed in September and speed has increased each month since.
The Illinois State Museum could lose its accreditation because of the state budget impasse.
And a super PAC is questioning the motives of the House Select Benghazi Committee. The Illinois State Museum in Springfield is in danger of losing its national accreditation among state budget concerns. On Monday, the American Alliance of Museums Accreditation voted 7-0 to put the museum on probation. The chair of the commission believes the current closure of the museum could have grave impacts on the museum's long-term viability. The museum has been accredited by the organization since 1972.
Ole Miss could soon take down a symbol of the Confederacy. Student leaders voted Tuesday to remove the Mississippi state flag from the campus of the University of Mississippi. The state flag is the only one which still bears the iconic blue cross representing the Confederacy. The vote from the student senators is a non-binding resolution, and there is some support on campus for keeping the flag up. Several colleges in Mississippi have already taken down the flag. The University of Mississippi previously released a statement asking the state to change the state flag to remove the symbol.
Big changes may be coming to the College of DuPage. Misconduct and mismanagement are only two reasons why trustees at the college outside Chicago voted 4-1 to fire its president. According to the board, Robert Buter violated specific policies established by the college, violated Board of Trustee and legal directives, breached his duties, and engaged in conduct damaging to the reputation of the college. The decision to fire Buter voided an earlier $736,000 severance package, which sparked a public uproar.
5 New York men have been charged with murder after the hazing death of a college student that occurred in Pennsylvania during 2013. Police say fraternity members tried to cover up the death of the Baruch College student Chung Michael Dang, who died after being physically abused during a Pi Delta Psi hazing ritual in the Pocono Mountains. Pocono Mountain Regional Police Chief Chris Wagner announced today that these 5 are the last of the 37 suspects to be charged in the case. The Pi Delta Psi fraternity itself is also being charged with murder.
As Democratic President hopeful Hillary Clinton prepares to testify before the House committee, it's investigating the 2012 terror attack in Benghazi, Libya. A super PAC backing Clinton is going after the panel itself. Correct the Record will release a 140-page book of what it's called opposition research on the Benghazi Select Committee. The report goes after several Republican members of the committee for, among other things, using the panel to attack Clinton. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy angered members of both parties last month when he said the Benghazi panel was out to hurt Clinton's poll numbers. But the GOP panel chairman says the committee is legitimately investigating what happened in Benghazi. Clinton's testimony before the panel Thursday is expected to last several hours.
Prosecutors in Baltimore are now investigating after 11 women have filed suit against the city's housing authority. The plaintiffs claim that the public housing maintenance men refused to perform necessary repairs unless the residents agreed to have sex with them. A Baltimore Housing Authority spokeswoman announced Tuesday that they are aware of the allegations and are conducting an internal investigation.
Toyota says it's recalling 6.5 million cars globally to fix power window switches that can short circuit and catch fire. Toyota says the switches on the driver's side on some models have been found to malfunction due to the vehicles not receiving enough grease during the manufacturing process. 11 reports of burnt door trim have been reported by customers. One customer reports a burned hand. No crashes have been reported. Toyota affected vehicles include the following models produced between the years 2005 and 2010. Toyota Yaris, Corolla, Matrix, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tundra Sequoia, Scion XB, Scion XD, and others.
A transgender Virginia student who sued after being banned from the boys' bathroom at his high school is now asking a federal appeals court to replace the judge who denied his request for a preliminary injunction. 16-year-old Gavin Grimm's lawyers say that the U.S. District Judge Robert Dumar has made multiple comments claiming that Grimm suffers from a mental illness and has suggested that he is merely seeking publicity. Grimm's attorneys are asking the appeals court to reverse Dumar's preliminary injunction ruling and his dismissal of a discrimination claim.
A U.S. military aircraft has crashed in farmland in the east of England, killing the pilot according to British police and U.S. military sources. The plane had taken off from RAF Lakenheath, which is a U.S. base, and went down near the town of Ely, Cambridgeshire, police said in a statement. It is believed the pilot was the only occupant of the plane when it crashed at around 10:30 a.m. The jet was an FA-18C Hornet and belonged to Marine Attack Fighter Squadron 232, according to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in California.
St. Louis police are investigating a fatal drive-by shooting of a motorcyclist that happened early this morning. Police say the motorcyclist was stopped at a light in Hamilton Heights when a car pulled up and someone began shooting. EMS crews responding to an unrelated call saw the victim and stopped by to help. The man was pronounced dead at the hospital and his name has not been released. No arrests have been made at this time.
Well, it looks like there will be rain in the forecast for homecoming. Colin Dorsey will have more with weather.
And the stock market took a drop across the board today. The nightly business report airs Monday through Thursday at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Colin Dorsey with your River Region weather forecast. Looking into the days ahead on kind of how to plan your days in the coming days. It's going to be pretty warm tomorrow, but that rain will be moving into the area in the next couple days. But after that, its temperatures are going to start to drop and cool off a little bit to more of around average temperatures for this year. Looking at this viewer photo sent in today from the Red Hawk Golf Course in Pinckneyville, we see beautiful clear skies across the lake. Trees still pretty green, but are beginning to change colors as we move deeper into the fall season. Looking outside right now in Jackson County, that should be mostly clear skies, around 80 degrees right now outside in Carbondale. Dew point much lower at 52 degrees. Humidity around 38%, so it's pretty dry. You don't have to worry about your hair frizzing out or anything. Wind gusting out of the south of up to 8 miles per hour. Looking to your almanac, your average high for today was 66 degrees and then your average low for today, 39. That record low set back in 1963. That was at 63 at 18 degrees. Very chilly. The record high coming in 1952 at 89. Looking at your temperatures across the region, Carbondale coming in around 80 degrees this evening. Marion, Paducah, Cape Girardeau, and Mount Vernon all coming in at 81. Belleville coming in as our hot spot this evening at 84 degrees. Looking at your surface map at current conditions across the United States, the reason for those beautiful blue skies right now is we are engulfed in this high pressure system. But if we look farther off to our west and our north, we do see a low pressure system bringing in all that rain that is that band right there. This is your coverage map, your cloud cover, looking into tomorrow around 2 o'clock p.m. As that low pressure system does start to move into the area, we do see that those beautiful blue skies start to disappear as the clouds do start to invade our area. And then tomorrow around 2 o'clock p.m., looking at your temperatures, it's going to be pretty warm for this time of year. Low 80s, upper 70s in most of our area, in our viewing area, and up into the northern part of Illinois. For tonight, expected overnight low of 55 degrees with clear skies, sun setting this evening around 6:11 p.m. By tomorrow, beautiful sunny skies, 81 is your high, very warm. And then tomorrow evening, expect partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 54 degrees. Here's a check of your 5-day weather forecast. 81 degrees is your, 75 is your high on Friday, bringing in a 50% chance of rain, going up to 80% on Saturday.
Well, thank you very much, Colin.
Mm-hmm.
The SIU men's golf team finished up their fall season yesterday.
And we have an update from the ALCS. Zach Thomas has more in sports.
One SIU athlete has broken an all-time Saluki record, where a different athlete is close to breaking another. And the Chicago Cubs will fight for their playoff lives tonight. All that and more coming up on River Region Sports. SIU tennis player Johnny Rigby has now become the school's all-time leader in doubles wins as an individual. The record was broken after he and teammate Michael Kianika won 8-6 against a duo from Wichita State this past weekend. Kianika is now third on the all-time list with 49 wins, as Rigby passed former teammate Brandon Flores to claim first. As a senior, Rigby's SIU playing career is coming to an end, but he's considering staying close to the game after he graduates.
So I've thought about maybe staying in coaching. I'm not sure about carrying on playing or not yet. I've not really made up my mind. But I think in the long term, there's a possibility of me staying in coaching.
The final men's tennis event of the fall will be the SIU Fall Classic, taking place this Saturday. SIU golf places 5th at the Kennesaw State Pine Tree Intercollegiate. The Salukis as a team shot .302 in the third round yesterday. The Dogs' exceptional third-round finish slated the team at 908 strokes, tying Florida Gulf Coast for 5th place in the tournament. SIU shot 158 pars throughout the tournament, which was the third highest out of all the teams competing. The best finish for the Dogs comes from the last tournament of the fall 2015 season. The men's golf team will resume action on January 29th at the Arizona Intercollegiate. Quarterback Mark Ionati is also having a record-breaking season for the Saluki football team. This weekend, he will look to put another record under his belt. The senior quarterback is only 206 yards away from breaking SIU's record for passing yards among two-year players. Ionati is the only player with 2 of the top 10 total offense games in MVFC history. The credit can't go to Ionati alone, as the Saluki offensive line has not allowed a sack in 4 consecutive games. The Dogs will host number 16 ranked Youngstown State with a 6 p.m. kickoff Saturday night. Bad news for users of FanDuel and DraftKings.com. The NCAA has banned the 2 websites from advertising in their championship games that are NCAA related. This includes games such as the men's and women's basketball championship game. The websites are also banned from putting ads on TV broadcasts for the championship games as well. The reason? NCAA refuses to accept advertising that involves in sports wagering. Turner Sports and CBS had no comment on the issue. Game 5 of the ALCS is underway, with the Kansas City Royals taking on the Toronto Blue Jays for a spot in the World Series. The Royals are currently leading the Blue Jays 3-1 in the series. With a win tonight, the Royals would automatically clinch a spot in the World Series. Right now, the Blue Jays lead the Royals 5-0 late in the 7th inning. The game is currently being broadcast on Fox Sports 1. The Cubs sit on the brink of elimination in the NLCS as they host the Mets tonight at 7:07 p.m. In a 3-0 series hold, the Cubs look to become a one-game winning streak team that Joe Madden has been talking about. The Cubs dropped Game 3 at Wrigley Field last night, only able to muster 2 runs of offense against Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom. Second baseman for the Mets, Daniel Murphy, continued his hot streak, homering in his record-tying 5th straight postseason game. Tonight's pitching matchup will feature Steven Matz for the Mets and Jason Hamill for the Cubs. The game can be seen on TBS.
All right, Zach, real quick, putting you on the spot. Who wins tonight, Mets or Cubs?
Cubs, got to have the home field advantage at Wrigley. They have to push it to a Game 5.
All right, thank you, Zach.
When we get back, we'll take a look at your weekend weather.
And today is the day the stars of Back to the Future are visiting from the past. We'll have more in 90 seconds.
Here are some of the stories making news in the days ahead. We'll have coverage on the Benghazi hearing tomorrow. The SIU men's tennis team will compete in the Fall Classic this weekend. And it's homecoming week at SIU. We'll have more on what events are coming up. Join us Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock for River Region Evening Edition.
Around the world, fans of Back to the Future are celebrating. Today, October 21st, 2015, the day that Marty McFly and Doc Brown landed in the future. A lot of the things Marty McFly saw in his future are part of everyday life today. The headsets being worn at the dinner table look strikingly similar to Google Glass, Samsung's Gear RV, and the Oculus Rift. And with the help from Skype, video conferencing is also a reality. All in all, 2015 has lived up to most of the promise in Back to the Future. However, we are still waiting on that flying car.
Colin, quick check of your weather.
Yeah, sure. Taking a look at tonight, tomorrow on your Thursday, 81 degrees is your high, but looking into Friday and Saturday, that chance of weather comes in 50% on Friday and up to 80 on Saturday, so we are kind of looking at a wet weekend ahead.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you for joining us tonight. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at River Region News. I'm Joe Fry.
And I'm Joey Dalo. For Colin Dorsey, Zach Thomas, and more than 100 students who work on Evening Edition, thank you and have a great night.